Hello, hello. We are live. Who have I missed so far? Stormyfly, hello. TW Simulations, hello. Avima, hello to you. How are you? Avima, how do you like the A220? Matthias, hello. And Sassy Plane, yes indeed. Right, before I continue, I just need to fetch my headphones. I have misplaced them somewhere. Give me a second. I'll be right back. Ah, dear, oh dear, oh dear. Hang on. Nate, I'm going to have to try and get onto one of your next live streams. Because Mark sent me the link finally, so yeah, I need to see when I can join one of your live streams. Big shout out to Nate Flies, a new streamer, new flightsim streamer in our streaming world. Fabian, hello. Morphus, hello. And right, I think I got so far right. Okay, here we are. Finally, finally we are able to try out the Synapic A220. Most of you know that the reason why I don't do any pre-release streams or pre-release videos is because I don't accept any more free copies, hardware and software, and because I don't approve really of how this whole process with these new add-ons has changed over the time, and I just don't want to be part of that anymore, and so I'd rather be paying for my own add-ons here and just be unbiased. This release again has really brought up some really strange kind of reactions again in my Discord, and it just goes to show that there's so many emotions going in to these developments and these published or these releases. That, yeah, for me it was a good decision. It is a good decision not to be in this, I call it, circus regarding new releases. Nevertheless, I would also, before we go in and fly the aircraft, I would also like to stress something and point out something. That is that I've been in aviation for 50 years now. I say I've been in aviation 50 years because my father was in the German Air Force, so, you know, back right from my first memories, I was, you know, fascinated by airplanes and aviation. And I told the story before where I started out with my first home cockpit when I was about 5 or 6 years old, and the cockpit was cardboard boxes cut into pieces, you know, to mimic a cockpit. I drew on a piece of paper, I drew the instruments and stuck them onto those cardboard boxes, and then I was sitting there. I got 1,000,000 FPS though, no stutters, no FPS issues. You know, that was good. But of course, it did take a lot of kind of fantasy to get yourself immersed, right? And now look what we get. We get an incredible amount of highly detailed add-ons, and so yeah, we are blessed. You know, everyone that is in this hobby, and we can enjoy incredible detailed sceneries, incredible detailed aircraft add-ons that get us incredibly immersed into the world of aviation. So yeah, my thanks goes out to each and every one of those developers. You know, not just for the Synapic team and Nebel's team and you know, FENIX, FSLabs, you name it. There's many of them that are, of course, then truly passionate about you know, their aircraft that they are developing. So I understand there's a lot of emotion, a lot of personal emotion going into these things, and of course everyone wants their add-on to be the best. And but nonetheless, it doesn't mean that we have to become idiots and slap each other and discredit each other, as I've seen it so many times lately. So for today, that's what I want to get to. For today, I would appreciate everyone just staying civil. You can voice your opinions, and should there be any Unibuilds or any Synapic people in here in the stream today, I would appreciate if you stay civil as well and accept criticism. You can counter criticism by your good arguments. I don't mind, but yeah, be respectful. I would really appreciate that. Good. With that out of the way, I have tried this add-on yesterday, and of course, release. Something happened which was expected to happen, as every release has some bugs and some issues. And so unfortunately, when they put the add-on on Marketplace, something went wrong in the code, and there was one thing in the FMS. If you clicked on the root page, then the FPS would go down from 60 down to 20, at least on my PC. So there was an error code somewhere in the lines. I'm not a programmer, and unfortunately they had it already on the radar. They had it fixed internally, but the Marketplace just takes some time to update. But nonetheless, this morning the update was out, so we have version 1.01, and I checked it, and now root page open, everything's fine. So there's no more big FPS drop. That can happen. Happens with the best of add-ons. There's no need to bash that. If you still feel like criticizing that and feel unhappy about it, well, maybe then the best thing to do is just to wait 1 or 2 weeks after release. Let all those bugs that suddenly pop up after release have all been ironed out and fixed, and then buy the add-on. Right? There's no real need to buy it on the first day and then get upset. Yeah, exactly. They fixed it as quickly as they could, so it happens. There's no need to bash that. The other criticism I've picked up so far was more with the performance. I've heard from my trusted people in the community that it has to do with the amount of polygons and graphical stuff here that does cause some stress on performance. But we'll see how it actually translates into a normal A to B flight. And for me, the important thing is I don't mind the odd stutter. The odd stutter is not something, or minor stutter is something that upsets me. What upsets me is longer stutters, just before flare and just before touchdown. That's something it gets me annoyed because it breaks my immersion from the flight sim. But otherwise, I'm not super critical. But I do know I am blessed with a PC setup that's of course more the high-end tier setting. So for those that are struggling with FPS performance, then hopefully they will get this add-on more and more optimized. We'll see. Good. Right. I'm sorry. I'm rambling on again. I'm not. So regarding procedures, I'm not a rated A220 pilot. I've never been. If you want, yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna go and I can show you the FPS right now, but of course, I am not going to show you the overlay over the whole. Here it is. So right now, yeah, when I'm off screen, of course, so I'm limiting to 30. DLSS frame gen times 2, giving me 60 FPS, V-synced with my monitor, 60 Hertz, and for me it is smooth. I have very little stutters when panning around, flying around, so that's my setup. It doesn't mean it works for you, it's just my setup. What I really just wanted to show here, on the main thread, you can see the odd red bar picking up, and that is when usually a little kind of micro stutter happens in the sim. Sometimes you don't notice it, sometimes you do, it depends. But one thing that strikes me a little bit odd is the coherent GTUI thread, and I think that has more to do with the displays, because once they come on, this will get a bit more stressed. I'm not sure if that really translates into main thread issues and then the stutters, but we'll see. The reason why I'm going to hide this is because I know myself, if I have that display on all the time, then I know I'm going to look at it, and then I'm really, staring too much at it and being, hypercritical about little stutters. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm just looking for the normal immersion, and see if there's any bigger issues that then I see and it breaks my immersion. That's what I care about. Goes, I don't know why you have to get up so early all the time. Right, let's get the batteries on. I'm hearing tone. Oh yeah, I was just about to say I've never been a rated pilot on the A220. If you really want to watch and learn from a professional A220 pilot, then watch Edward the Pilot here on Twitch. I think he's on YouTube as well. And he said he's going to publish some videos, tutorial videos, which is great as well. Let's get the external power on. Let me know if the sounds in general are too loud, then I'll dial them down a bit. Yeah, just sort of make sure they don't drown out my voice there. Cool. Yes, like I said, Edward the Pilot, big shout out. He's the one who really knows the aircraft, and you can learn a lot from him. For me, I'm just a normal user, just like you, a normal flight sim enthusiast. But still, I'm going to try to learn. Come down a bit more, Nate. Okay, thanks. Yeah, that's one thing. Maybe if I can voice another bit of criticism, I would love to have the option. Now let's see. Is that under environment? No, that's wind, isn't it? Rattles, engines. Now you can get noise cancellation on. Shall we do that for now? Hey, Alpha. Shall we? And Steve, I heard. Yeah, shall we do it this way? And then we just have to make sure that before engine start, yeah, for engine start, because I know you want to hear the engine, right? We'll have the noise cancelling off. Is that okay? Full Flap Sim is also an A220 captain, so shout out. Is he on YouTube or on Twitch or on both? So Full Flaps Sim, big shout out to him as well. And it's another thing that we are blessed with so many real world pilots helping out. Us flight sim enthusiasts to sounds good. Okay, to help us learn all the little details here of these really well detailed aircraft add-ons. Good. What I've learned so far is that what we can do is we can actually call up a checklist. So just power up the aircraft, and then we go power on. Electronic checklist, display unit 2. Is that this one here? I guess we can do that, right? So if I go map, yeah. All right. So let's see, that's here. And then we just go, I guess read and do, right? Hydraulic 3A on. And people, it's quite funny. People have been saying this has a lot to do with the hot start Challenger 650. Well, yeah. Bombardier. Very similar. 3B. So if you've already flown the hot start Challenger 650, then Tubi, then you know a lot more about this already. He's on YouTube as well. Fantastic. Lilo, hello to you. Right, so we've got APU or external power. We've got external power connected, so we have already finished the power on checklist. Let's do the pre-flight checklist. Is it the first flight of the day? Yes. Now, you guys can help me. For the life of me, I've not been able to find the ice detector test. Where is that? Because we have anti-ice here. It's the avionics page, really. So what? Menu? No, hang on. Where is it? Menu? No, avionics. Is it systems? Avionic. Ice detection. Look at that. Thank you. Aviomar Pro Pilot. That's true. It doesn't have the splendid Tota voice. That is true. Right, so ice detection fail. Is that normal? I mean, we don't need ice detection. It's hot today. I don't think, but I would assume that's normal. I think it's, yeah, let's pretend it's normal. Unless someone comes in here who really knows the aircraft. Oh, it's a known bug. It's hot. Okay, there we go. All right, let's say the detector test is completed. Circuit breakers. Now, another thing. I honestly, so the first time I checked the circuit breakers, I was like, okay, there's a couple of circuit breakers here. So flight controls, hydraulics, indicating anti-ice. Right. Nothing there. Nothing there. Nothing there. And then we got a few more there. Navigation, air. Is that it? Is the rest like electronic checklist stuff? So, or electronic circuit breaker like in the 787? The rest is electronic. Cool. Nice. Right. For those that are not familiar with the data load, so normally when you start out, you will have the normal standard Microsoft database loaded. Now, if you have a Navigraph subscription and you want to load your own Navigraph, you would have to go to data load, reload the data software, choose the correct database, and then you are able to activate it, and then you're good to go. Hey Stalmine, hello to you. For the throttles, throttle calibration, so I have my wind control A320 throttles. You're going to say, well, that's annoying, isn't it? Because you have your D10s. Yeah. But I don't really mind because for normal power setting, I'm not going to reach the climb detent. But it gives me nicely the reverse option. I can even regulate the reverse, so happy with that. And then I've mapped one button for the auto throttle disconnect, and I've mapped one button for the go round. So that should hopefully work as well. Right, so we've covered that. Menu FS. Okay, so it's enough to check on the circuit breaker page. So just check here, and you just want to make sure that there's no breakers offline. Right. So if there's so there's no tripped circuit breakers. So that's it. That's all you have. Oh, hang on. Well, while we're here, I know we're potentially breaking the aircraft. Let me try something. Let's go with SLAT channel 1. SLAT channel 1, usually it takes a while. It takes a few seconds to trip here or get registered. And then we'll see. We'll see if anything happens with that. Status. Systems. Alright, so here we can actually... Oh, nice. So we can do that here as well. Oh, there we go, look. Round of applause. Happy. GG. So there, like I said, it takes a few, just like on the 787, it just takes a while for the system. Is it on the button on the side for the details, or was that more on the? Yeah, I know. I remember that. Apparently there was, but I would have to check that. Is it underneath, Baron? Because I have mounted it on the desk mount there. Okay, good. I mean, that works. That works. Happy with that. So it's yeah. We'll cool it in a minute. So that's how then you check the circuit breaker. So you don't physically look at the circuit breaker at the rear. You actually just go into the circuit breaker page here under the system. Or I don't know what's that. It's the Sierra Yankee November system displays between the levers and the top. Now I'm intrigued. Levers and the top. Oh. Param. Oh, you were a genius. Oh, hang on. So, just give me the credit that I have so many add-ons, hardware add-ons, that I get lost. I just get lost in translation sometimes regarding all of my add-ons. Right. So this status is in. Does that? I guess that registered. Yeah, fantastic co-pilots, Nate, as always. As always, pro co-pilots. Good. Okay, so that's fine. Air is good. All right, let's continue. Circuit breakers checked. Rudder trim. Let's have a look at flight controls. So we've got rudder trim here and rudder trim. Well, I guess you can just check it here then. Make sure that's neutral. Oxygen mask. Gonna check that. Make sure it's on 100% as well. So oxygen mask checked. We have airplane documents on board and checked. We have the OEBs checked. Operational engineering bulletins. Emergency equipment. Now gear pins. We'll do a quick outside check as well, because there's a funny story. I'll play a little sound file that I've witnessed on an A220 on a flight from Bremen to Zurich. It was in December, 3 or 4 years ago. Quite a funny story. I'm not going to spoil anything. Rudder trim is under flap. Oh, here as well. Okay, so just make sure that it is centered. Like this here. Okay, understood. Thank you. Right, gear pins on board, overhead panel. Now we would normally just make sure dedicated push buttons are in, right, and the lights are out. But we should have the emergency lights armed, although I think the checklist asks for that. EOT is armed, so already. Overhead panel, glare shield. Glare shield. I mean, we could already arm the flight directors. We could set the Q and H if we wanted to. Let's have a quick look here. Oh yeah, and we are flying to Salzburg, as you can see on the top there, because the weather in Salzburg, if I have seen correctly, is actually good for landing on 3-3 today. Thank you, Abimar. Let's have a quick look here. Yeah, it's northerly winds. It's not much. I mean, we could land on 1-5, but 3-3. Oh, Ulas, sorry for the late call out. First one, Nanak. Nanak 3-3, thank you for 67 months. I'm well. Nanak, thank you so much. I hope you're doing well too. And Ulas coming in with the 13 months. Ulas, much appreciated. Thank you so much. And ProSource, 42 months. Long time. Thank you so much, ProSource. So the idea is to fly that RMP AR approach. It's a lovely approach. Normally you would fly the visual approach if you like, but the developers claimed that the RMP function here and the fully managed approach using a 3D guided approach like the RMP approach is working very well. So why not test that on the landing there? And it should be very beautiful, no cloud, beautiful weather. It should be very scenic. So I'm looking forward to that. Currently in Dresden with LDP2, and we have here QNH 1018. So we'll dial that in already, and it should sync up at least on the right hand side and stand by on 0.8. I guess you may tune some radios, heading. You could set the heading for the runway track as well. I mean, we would have runway 22, so that's 217. And altitude, we'll check later for the departure. Flight records on. Yeah, let's keep. I agree, Salzburg always lovely to land. Glacial check displays. Yep, they're all on. Oh yeah, one more thing, guys. So I've seen that you can get. Let's go on the map. You can get your charts on there, like the Navigraph charts. Now it's also saying I've had it on somewhere. Is it data? Yeah, data. There it is, data. Thanks. Data. We can do departure, but we haven't chosen anything yet. So I guess once you have inserted the flight plan, then you can open these. Okay, we'll do that later then. We should have done that later. All right, so we got a good database as well. Displays checked, ICAS and info. Yeah, detection fail. Maybe that's still a bug. I don't know. Looking for a cancel button. Is there a cancel button for these? Like a recall check or something? Is it this one here? No. So ICAS info is checked. We'll have a look. Altimeter set and cross-check center panel. Center panel, yeah, levers, of course. It's all guarded. Audio panels, cockpit door, lighting. There's no cancel, no ICAS. Hey, thanks, Agrameister. It's just clear messages. It's so weird. I have like flashbacks with the 787 because it's got a lot of things that you can find, or like the display setups, that sort of thing, the glare shoot stuff as well. I kind of have flashbacks, and then look for a button which is on the 787, but of course it's not here. All right, so messages. So just go here and then clear that. Done. Yeah, but you can't get rid of that. Yeah, that's the thing, right? Okay, we'll get to that in a minute. So center panel is checked, pedestal checked, and side stick. So side stick, I would assume as well. We have system flight control. Yeah, so we can. I guess you can look at the display here, make sure it's centered. Okay, it's known. Okay, thank you much. Okay, so it's a bug which is known. Now I'm not using my A220 or sorry A320 stick. I'm actually using the Viper, it's a Warthog Thrustmaster stick, which is, I think it's the F-16 kind of replica. The reason is, on my A320 stick, I don't have a trim button, and this is something which is, of course, we'll talk about later when we talk about flight control system. But that is weird, right? You're on the Airbus, but you have to trim nose up and nose down, even though it's fly-by-wire. The reason being is that it's not fully augmented like in the A320. The control law here, C*U, represents the same controller that we have on the 787 or the 777. So it's not a complete envelope protected system. It does give you some great protection, but not completely. And one of the things is that you have to manually trim, which is kind of weird because the rest of the feel of the stick is like an A320, let's say, but then you have to do the speed trim. Okay, so the performance, like I said, I'm not sure if you're able to use frame generation and DLSS. I think that's the big difference. And I've shown I've got 60 FPS here. Just some minor little main thread peaks, but otherwise all good. Right, side sticks check. So that's the pre-flight checklist completed. Next will be the before start. Now, before we do that though, let me go through the FMS setup. And there was a nice PDF file. It's available on the Synapic Discord from a reward A220 pilot, and there it shows you as well some nice flow charts on the FMS preparations. So I just need to, where is it? There it is, and we have FMS prep now. I don't know. Spoil that, but that's one of the files or the pages there, so that's what I'm going to use, okay, to help me with the preparations. It doesn't really matter what aircraft you're flying. These modern jets heavily rely on the flight management guidance system. Call it MCDU or FMS or whatever. In principle, it's just a user interface, right, where the pilot tells those computers all kinds of data regarding the routing, regarding the altitudes, regarding wind, regarding weights, regarding and as always, silly stuff in means silly stuff out. So you've got to be careful with those inputs. And as always, every aircraft has a certain flow chart, and it is best to just follow that, and that way you minimize the risk of missing important data. Right? So it starts out, of course, with the database where we check that, then it goes into the next one, which is the position page. It aligns itself automatically, so we're already in the navigation mode. We have all the IRS indicating with a correct position. We can check that we have currently 2 GPS systems online, receiving satellites, 8 each, and we have currently VUR DMEs, but we're not receiving anything there yet, I guess because we haven't inserted our departure and arrival airports. Right, then would be next regarding the flight plan. Now the good thing is, and this caught me out the first time yesterday, so I'm going to go do the uplink, and then it says complete, and there's nothing there, right? And so yeah, I had to watch some professional as well on how to get this working. So you have to go to the secondary. So here's the actual, then you go to the secondary, and there it actually has the data inserted, right? And DCT use frame gen and auto FPS and have 3 native. That is half. Okay. Well, I mean, I can't really tell you what my native FPS is, because I always use frame gen, and so I lock my FPS at 30 internally. That's being doubled by the frame gen, and then I get the 60. And again, that's how I get my best results, really. Good, departures. We're going to take runway 22, we said, and where's my... Oh, hang on. We're going to go here. I'm going to go to my flight. So we're going to go to flight plan. There it is. So we have the Maren 5 whiskey departure. Okay, we'll take that Maren 5 whiskey. You lost that scaling. TW, yeah, I think it's not bad software, but for me, when I stream and I have multiple monitors, it just doesn't work properly. There's a real world pilot, it was a US pilot. I don't remember his name anymore. I just stumbled on suddenly. You know, I searched and then I saw A220 live stream, and I think it says somewhere A220 captain. I watched that, and then I watched his preparations there, and then that's how I learned that. Now the RNAV. Let me just quickly check which one it is. So it's going to be. So we're going to be on the Bardet to Romeo until Salzburg, and then it's going to be a RMP AR approach, which should be the Yankee, right? Yeah, it's going to be the Yankee approach. The reason is that is coded laterally and vertically until the runway, so we can follow that nicely with the hey downrange. He's on both. He's on Twitch and on YouTube. The RMP Zulu for the runway 33, yeah. That is from the south. Also very nice, spectacular approach, but that's from the south. Yeah. And this would be the art of visuals. So if you're unable to do the AR, so the authorization required approach, then you would do this one. And but that means that from Whiskey Sierra 835 onwards, it's officially a visual approach, and so you should not be able to use the autoflight system to continue on that. It depends on the SOPs of the airline. But all right, so we're going to go with the Yankee then. So we're going to take the Bardet to Romeo and the RNAV Yankee 33. And we're going to take the not the Vectors. We are going to take the 831. I'm going to have to play around a little bit later. Okay, so now that we've done that, I'm going to activate the secondary, execute, and now we've got the actual. And now we have that in, and then we can go quickly have a well, let's do the wind temperature, let's do the uplink, so that we have that. Fuel, we enter the minutes for the data, performance, as well, and then the routing. So let me just scroll down. So there's one discontinuity in here regarding, yeah, Salzburg. So the thing is that Salzburg is very close to that waypoint. So I'm going to just add that waypoint after Salzburg, but I'm going to have to check later if that actually works. So we're going to take this one here. So that's now closed. Salzburg 831. Let's go to plan page. Let's go map. Plan page. Center to waypoint. No, center waypoint. Ah, okay. So we can enter. Let's say Salzburg. Let's go Sierra Bravo Golf. Enter that here. Let's select that. Center aircraft. No. Ah. Doesn't work. All right. Now. Oh yeah, there's another thing you can. I keep forgetting that you can execute here as well on the route change. Okay, so we have that, Ududa, then we have the arrival, Bardet, and then from Bardet, it's pretty much direct Salzburg, isn't it? Yep, Salzburg. So we're going to close that as well. So we're going to take this and put that there. And then we're going to Execute it. How do I step here? How do I step? Anyone know quickly? How do I step? Is it full flap sim? It could be. I'm honestly. No, you should be Aviamar. Didn't Edward say you can fly LPV? You just have to select L. Oh, you mean the minimums? Oh, disregard. No, the minimums. No, you are correct. The minimums are LNAV, VNAV minimums. So the reason why it can't be LPV, in my opinion, is because it's not straight in. It's a curved approach, and I don't think you can do that. But correct me if I'm wrong. Oh, okay, thank you. That's easy. Yeah, Aviamar, thank you. Right, thanks for that. So it could be so easy sometimes. Right, there we go. So that's what I mean. Right, so we have a very short leg distance Salzburg to here. But it should manage. Now it's closed, and you can see that takes us all the way down to the runway. So it's all closed, no discontinuities. I'm happy with that. I'm going to copy that already again to secondary. And so that's the routing flight plan taken care of, level. Now the alternate is, let's have a look here. The alternate today is hopefully Munich. It's, oh, Vienna, okay, also nice. Vienna, and it's going to be level 150. So let's take Lima, Oscar, Whiskey. Alternate. Interesting that it doesn't take that from SimBrief. And average cruise wind. Let's have a quick look here. Let's put that at 280, 18 or something. 280 at 18. And the average ESA delta. Just take if it's 5 or something. Execute. Good. Happy. Yeah. Wind is in fuel. Okay, let's do the loading. Now, I'm not going to go through any GSX shenanigans. I'm just going to go and load the aircraft. So we're going to import that from SimBrief. 4.6 tons of fuel, 125 passengers, cargo 3.2 tons. So we're hitting a zero fuel weight of 46.4 roughly, and the gross weight will be 49.2. We're loading the aircraft. Oh, disregard. No. So now that we've loaded this, we have a zero fuel weight of 50.4 and about 55 tons takeoff weight. Let's see if that matches up with the flight plan here. Yeah, 50 tons zero fuel weight and about 54 something, 55 tons. I'm happy with that. Okay, so my memory served me right. LPV does not support curved legs. Yeah. But we can fly this fully managed. And I've got the chart ready, how to use that, how to fly a 3D approach here. Excellent. Map mode. We'll go ahead and... oh, no. Did it take my runway out? No, runway 22. All good. Regarding... one question, guys. Regarding, you know, the airport overlay. So the airport overlay chart. I know you can get to you know, the Navigraph charts. So whatever we have selected in the FMS, we can get that here. But I saw some pictures just for the taxi, like the OIS, like you know, the how do I get there? Other new chart, departure arrival. What do you mean, Lido? Post? Oh yeah, what's that Latin word? Post-release. So it's not in yet, because I did see some screenshots. Okay. Well, that's neat. Look at that. A few weeks. Okay, thanks, Leo. That's interesting. Look at this. I love how it. This is something like, you know, I need that, right? Just to make sure I taxi in the correct direction. This may seem silly, that kind of error, but trust me, it helps. It really helps. It does. Okay, so we're happy with that as well. Right, back to map, and then, like I said, so flight plan performance is next. Although disregard, we have a flight plan page for the fuel and the weights. So 0 fuel weight. We're going to take what we have on the load sheet here. So we have 5376. So 5376. Put that in there. Execute. Then the CG is that CG for 0 fuel weight 24.6. 24.6. And if I do anything wrong, feel free to correct me. I'm always happy to be corrected. Right. So now what we can do here is we can go to sensed. Oh, I thought it would take that. 4.6. I guess just the calculations, isn't it? Alright, let's do that. Yeah, so FMS fuel on board. Usually I prefer sensed. Now the calculated, what it means is if you enter the block fuel and then start the engines, you get a fuel flow and a fuel used indication. And so the calculated is taking the starting fuel, so the block fuel, and then calculating what you used according to the displays. The thing is that there's always a difference between the sensed and the calculated. Now the question is, which would be more accurate? You can't really tell, unless you have some statistical, information from maintenance or something, which would be more accurate. But in the end, how do you, on what do you base your decision? Let's say you're doing holding somewhere, and what fuel value do you take to put your red line in, right? And say, okay, until this fuel value, we're going to fly holding, and once we reach that, we'll divert. And of course, I mean, I've always used the totalizer, so what we have indicated here, right? I've never gone with the calculated, so yeah, so we'll do sensed. Good. Equitime point we don't need. Take the higher one. And that's a problem, right? Because if the calculated is, has got some error somewhere in the calculations internally, no, I'd go with indicated. Oh, really? The EDP isn't even implemented in the real aircraft? Okay. Well, there you have it. Right, let's sync the FMS. So 55 tons takeoff weight. We're going to sync the weather. Flap setting 2 doesn't support flap 1 takeoff, so the lowest you can do is flaps 2. Jacob says usually just leave it on sensed. If in doubt, we compare the two values and see which is the more conservative. Yeah, okay. I mean, if you take the more conservative, so let's say calculate is more conservative to indicated, and then you would be on the safe side. But the other way around, I'm not sure if that would be the safe side. Good question. So for the experts, is the A220 ETOP certified? Okay, we're going to calculate packs on simply because that way I won't forget. ETOPS 180. Okay, thank you. Thank you much for the information. So ETOPS 180 apparently. Cool. Anti-ice off, thrust config automatic. What options do we have? Takeoff 1, takeoff 2. Okay, so big difference between the 787 and the A220. On the 787, you are allowed to do a combination, a mixture between the fixed D rate, TO1, also TO1, TO2, and on top of that do a assumed temperature. Here on the A220, you are not. So either you do thrust config automatic, meaning flex or assumed temperature, right? Or you do a fixed derate. So 10%, 20%, 30%. Difference is that if you're using a flex or assumed temperature method, you can do that on dry and wet runways. On contaminated runways, you can actually do these derated takeoffs, right, which reduces the thrust, still gives you the correct takeoff performance for your takeoff so that you can lift off and climb, but it reduces the thrust by a certain percentage, which allows you then, in case of an engine failure after V1, where you have to continue. So let's say you have a big gap between V1, decision speed, and rotation. So you have a lot of asymmetry coming from the asymmetric thrust, and then you have a slippery runway because of contamination. It then helps, of course, if you have derated. Right. But that's not allowed. Contaminated runways with the assumed temperature method. That is not allowed. All right, we leave that on auto. We have excursion there. Let's calculate that. Oh, interesting. It gives us a TO1. Okay. So no assumed temperature, nothing. No, so here's flex as well, since it's Airbus. No flex temperature. What else do I have to thrust config? Takeoff, TO1, TO2, TO3, no, auto. Okay, interesting. Has anyone gotten flex yet? Jacob says ATP is grayed out in real life. Okay. And fat by fat flaps on is basically just slats. Yeah, makes sense. Oh, really? Cool. I love this community. I love how we have knowledgeable people that just simply have the answer then when we have a question, right? So flex isn't implemented in real life yet. And so, of course, if it's not implemented in real life, then of course it wouldn't be modeled. Why would it be modeled, right? So, okay, so we have takeoff 1. Excellent. So we're going to send that to the FMS. And then what we can do very simply is we can check that we have TO1, no flex obviously. Climb thrust, we can take climb 1, climb 2, we'll take climb 2. And then we'll set the V speeds for the PFD. And yeah, so we have F1 min speed, flap 0 min speed, and green dot speed as well. Now bleed source, it's going to be on engines. We set packs on, wing anti-ice off, engine anti-ice off. Departure profile. Now this is interesting. So we can do NADP departure profile, and we can change these values. So if I go to my charts on Dresden, we have 2250, 2250, which is exactly 1500. Yeah, about 1500 feet. Interesting. Not 1,000, but 1500. Then it would be a special, wouldn't it? But this is height, correct? Right. So it's kind of a special thing. Let's go with that for 1500. 1500. Hey Palmer Vector, how you doing? Greetings. And then pitch and V flat change. Right. Good climb, strategy is good, cruise 7.8, descent 7.8275, knots, approach later is good. I think we've pretty much covered everything. Let's see. Oh, transition altitude, hang on, for the climb. Transition is in 5,000? Yeah, 5,000. Alright, so 5,000 transition. Now, what we can do, on the info chart, it says, but it doesn't say anything regarding active selected. Well, I guess that's as it is. Hey, A220 driver says, do you use flex, but it's most never makes sense to do so? Really? Okay. Well, I can't really give a full verdict yet of the A220 because I haven't done a full flight yet. I've messed about a bit with holdings, for example. Tried to learn some of the procedures. Which architecture would you prefer? This one or like an A320? Good question. Good question. I think both make a lot of sense, and it's more a matter of getting used to. The thing is, I've become a little bit of an avionics geek because I flew the 787, and the 787 has a lot of interaction on the displays. And with the 777-9, you have touchscreens as well, so it does make sense, you know, to have that cursor on those displays, and it's more a matter of getting used to it. And so I've become a big fan of this kind of architecture. Yeah, look as a capture quote market exactly. No, I don't think. No, I don't think these are touch on the 777-9. So 777-9 that's coming next year. Those have touchscreens. Yeah. So here you have a trackball. It's hard to see really, but you would put your wrist on that. You see that ball there? So you have some kind of mouse buttons there. You can click, and they have a trackball. Exactly. So that's what I heard as well. Localized intercept is a bit sluggish on the real aircraft as well. So it's not a bug in the add-on. It simulates the true behavior of the localized intercept. And that's why apparently real-world A220 pilots prefer the RMP approaches. Okay, on the init page here, flight number. So like you would put. Yeah, the thing is, so the reason why normally you would do that is because that is usually sent via the mode Sierra transponder or ADS-B out, and so that is then visible for ATC. And they, if you put a wrong flight number in here, they would then contact you and tell you to change the call sign in here, the flight number. Good. All right, I think we're pretty much finished here. I think I'm happy with that. So we have that completed. Let's have a look how we're looking on the doors. Doors are forward packs are still open, but we can change that in a minute. Let's start the APU. Hey Finn. And so the flight number is only for the cabin entertainment system. You mean it doesn't go out on ADS-B? Sounds, guys. Don't ask me about sounds, please. So that is all done by the CNS. That's not implemented yet, is it? Oh, so you would put the flight ID in here. Is that what you say? Okay. Nice. Cool. All right. I'll take that. Excellent, excellent. So really with some deeper background infos here. Hey, A220 driver. So there's an option where it takes from ACARS, but that's not implemented yet, is it? Voice data. But yeah, transponder TCAS. I would say that's good, isn't it? Cool. Not the FMS. Okay, cool. So yeah, okay, so I love it. Learn some more things. So this is just for the entertainment system. Right, quick walk around, guys, because I don't want to get to the funny story. I think you've already seen textures and the fact that you can open cowlings. Right, modeling. In the cabin, you can open bins and toilet doors. Some people love it. I'm not judging. I don't really care about that, but that's just me. I know I'm not judging on that. Right. So here's the thing. For those experts, I'm going to play you a clip. Okay. So this happened IRL when I was flying from Bremen to Zurich on an A220. And we were waiting for departure, and it was my first A220 flight, and I really was fascinated about how the aircraft, and it was a Swiss flight, Swiss flight, and lovely aircraft, brand new. Now here's the clip. So the captain, so we got a bit of a delay, and the captain made an announcement. Here's what he said, and please let me know if it's loud enough.
Two issues. First one was a power interruption for our aircraft, which caused black screens in front. This problem is already solved. The second problem is much trickier because a head of the ground stuff was sucked into our inlets. So we have to connect the stairs again. I have to go downstairs and inspect and try to catch that hat out of the inlet. I'm very sorry for that inconvenience, but I'm still confident.
Okay, so please enlighten me. So some ground staff walked around the aircraft, and it must be with the electronic compartment, right? I'm just wondering where that hat was pulled in, because on the A220, for example, you have an electronic compartment inlet and outlet valve. Where would that be here on the A220? Where could you possibly have a hat being sucked in? No, not head. No, hat. What you put on your head. No, not hand. Hat. God, that would be a tragedy. Chain Reactor, hello to you. Thank you.
Hello chat, moin captain.
Moin. Thank you so much for the 18. Yeah, I'm wondering, is it somewhere below the aircraft? The APU flag? No, so in the APU stuff, no. APU, that's a goner, and that's up here anyways, isn't it? Here on top. And the APU intake, that will be gone. Yeah, so I'm still looking for the are there any differences between 300 and 200 or 100 cc A220s? So they need to. That's just an excuse. I don't think so, because I mean it sounded very logical. You have like a woolen hat on, you walk around the aircraft, and the cooling air intakes, they are very strong, and so I just envisioned that hat being pulled off the head, right, and being sucked in, and then the captain went out and fished the hat out again. So this is the second announcement.
In dit driewerkstart hier beginnen dürfen. Besten Dank für Ihr Verständnis. Once more, your captain, we were successful in getting this hat back from the ground staff. funny story, and finally we are ready for our engine start. Thank you very much for your understanding.
The thing is, nobody was laughing, right? They were like, "What the hell? what are you on about?" So I love how it's just a casually said, "Funny story." Yeah, I love the announcement. Well, I was the only one laughing at that moment, and people looking at me like, "Why is he laughing?" But I guess I got the insider joke. I mean. Good. Yeah. So nobody knows what caused that. Hat, not head. Hat. HAT. So Chain Rector, thanks for the 18 months. Yeah. Honestly, I told my wife. I said to her, if he's not able to get the hat out, that's it. We're staying here. We're not going. It was an evening flight, so I thought we're not going to get to Zurich. Okay, cool. Right, let's have a look at the before start stuff. So we're going to have the APU on. I'm going to take away the external power here. We already have APU bleed air. Going left pack, right pack, and into the trim air. So now we have a lovely 21 degrees. Oh no, so we have 24? No, 21. And I think 24 is the aim, right? So it's kind of missing the yeah, there we go. So that's the goal. Okay, anyways. Maybe I've overshot the cooling a bit. Anyhow, so that's done. Good departure briefing. Quick briefing here, guys, for the records. So, hang on, how do I... settings? But I did set Navigraph, didn't I? Yes, use Navigraph charts. How come I'm not... what am I missing? Charts. Log out, log in settings. Okay. It's okay. You need to log in again. Okay, because I do want to charts. Give me a second. I'm going to just go quickly put you on pause here, and then I'm going to log out and log in again. Log in. How to log out? Oh, there we go. Reset. Log in. Alright. Approve. Allow. Okay, so that's done. Let's check charts again. Dyston. Oh yeah, there we go. So we have. It's weird though that we have the Lido charts. Oh, I don't mind Lido. But alright. Let's look here. And can I pin this? Can I pin this? Can I pin this? I don't know how to pin this. Okay. Anyways, so we have this departure here, but we can also do the chart here, can't we? So let's do oh no. You gotta be joking. Right, here we go. So we have the Marum 8 Whiskey departure. It is a normal SID, a conventional SID, according to some VOR's beacons, and it says we climb the rate of 039 inbound, 8.1 or 1.0 from Delta Romeo November. Then we turn left and intercept 173 outbound to Marum. So that's programmed. And the initial climb is flight level 70. So let me put that in here. 7,000 set. Good. Sector 37, later 43. Performance is done. V1125, VR131, V2137. These speeds are set. We have a flat 2 departure, NADP special 1500.
Welcome aboard the Captain Blackrock's Twitch channel subscriber experience.
Climb 2 thrust.
Could new subscribers please
Special
upgrade
threats.
to the first class
I don't see any beautiful weather. Well, first flight with the A220, of course. That's a threat. And Joey, thank you much for the 12. Good day.
Good day.
Sorry. I misclicked. No. There you go. It's Joey, thank you so much for the 12 months. It's supposed to be applause. Good. Right. So departure briefing completed. APU is on. Seatbelts. Yeah, that is sensed, isn't it? So we can put that to on. To on is on. That is self-sensed. Fantastic. Beacon is also self-sensed. And parking brake is on. It says that here. Right. And that's the before start completed. Then let's get GSX ready for pushby. Okay, oh yeah, we did want to do the following, guys. We did want to put the headsets off. Audio for the engine start at least, and then cruise flight we'll put them back on again. How do you program the engine out procedure? Good question. For that, I think you would have to use the fix page. So you could put in, let's say, Echo Delta Delta. I'm just freestyling here because I haven't tried that yet. Okay, that's an invalid entry. Okay, what about just Echo Delta Delta? Oops. Delta Charlie. Or we could do, hang on, we could do runway 22. Maybe that works. Not in database. Okay. So yeah, that's what we would do. And then I guess you could simply put the radial. So here it's 217, 25 miles. So we have 217 degrees. And then, is it 25? 25. Oops. So I can put in 25. Oops. 25. 217. Oh, hang on. Distance cross. Distance. Okay, so it doesn't. Okay, so just a radial. So facing north onto mark. Right, releasing parking brakes. Oops. Oh, I've bounced to mark. Good. So there's no procedure checklist for engine start. Now the only thing I have learned to get not get any nuisance issue warning stuff, trim air goes off. And then once you have the all clear signal for pushback, all you do is start the engine. Start the right engine. And then it has its own cooling cycle to get the, in case you have any bowed rotor, that it straightens out. So there's a fairly long motoring at 8%. Sorry, at 11% here is that's the 11% N2. And then it just takes a while. Was he? On my Discord. Bit wobble. So the engine start, maybe that's why some people are complaining about the sounds. Is that normal? Yoda, is that like a normal engine start sound? Because I know it has those whale sounds when you add thrust, but engine start, doesn't it? Sounds good to me. Okay, fantastic. Right. So in case Yoda is a real world mechanic, worked on lots of different aircraft types. And so, yeah, I trust his judgment on that. Let's start engine 1.
Cockpit to ground. Engine's not started yet. I'll call you back later. Okay,
so it's usually out of idle, and from mid power to idle. That's when the pitch changes. Okay, yeah, and the whale sounds, they are being caused by resonance frequencies within the combustion chamber, correct? And if you turn engine ITIs on, is that because it increases the idle power? There we go. We've got ignition, EGT rise. Yeah, yeah. And so here we have these geared turbofans, like on the Pratt & Whitney Neos. Did someone time the engine start? No. So apparently, from hearsay, it is apparently 2 minutes, right? About each engine. How do I tell them we have a good engine start? Oh, GSX, come on. No. We have a good engine start. I want to tell you that we have a good engine start, so why? No. Oh, GSX. Has it bugged? I updated. Come on. Oh, no, it's alright. Okay, that's right. I'm just not being patient enough, that's all. And also when you switch off APU, engine beat demand increases, it will howl as well. Okay, interesting. And then I heard from a real-world pilot as well here that he tries to avoid these whale sounds. So he's carefully adding thrust for taxi because passengers do get worried about these sounds, right?
Left is clear, right is clear.
The Neos, a little bit. Right, can see the oil temperature. It's still cold. Good. Now, before taxi, now obviously APU. So, there was another interesting comment. So you want to make sure that let me switch the APU off. So you want to make sure that the bleed is actually active before you add thrust or something. Yeah, that's true. They're not living life to the fullest. But I mean, some people are sensitive. You have to accept that. Okay, let's lower the flaps. Flaps 2. So APU is off. Anti-ice it's in auto position, but it's not required at the moment. Flaps 2 selected. Flight controls. Let's go flight controls. So make sure that everything is moving. Drooped ailerons, very nice. Spoilers. Rudder. Nice. Right, don't forget. Oh, hang on. I would do these things myself, but flight controls check, nose goes on, and ECAS. Now, this thing probably won't go away now because it's a bug, right? Hey, Anonymous, thanks for the gifted substitute.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard
Much
the Captain
appreciated.
Black Box Infotainment Experience. New subscribers should
Right,
now pick
so
up their past
that's done.
first class.
Let's
Thank
go
you.
get the nose light on. We'll have it on narrow. Flaps 2, interesting. Good. And then airport map full. Okay, there we go. That's not implemented yet. Okay. Then we'll do data. Let's do this airport. There we go. And then I'm going to zoom in. So we're going to taxi forward until we hit hotel. And then we go all the way down. So ICAS info is checked, and that's the before taxi checklist completed. We have left side clear, right side is clear. Let's go. Let's listen to the howl. I guess it's more prominent in the cabin. Huh? Wasn't that on the streams louder? Oh, hang on. Hold on. I think maybe my fault. Hang on. Now, performance. This is what people are noticing, right? And that's too loud. Let me do that. Yeah. So definitely, I do have these slight stutters as well when moving fast around corners. And again, it has to do. You see now the coherent GTY thread. Now that all the displays are on, that is pretty maxed out. And then also, let me go give you the recording page here. You can see as well the main thread. So when you get these spikes here on the main thread, that's when you get usually these visible stutters on the screen. So yeah, there's a room for improvement, no doubt. There is room for improvement regarding performance. That has to be optimized now. Loudness limiter set to off in Microsoft Sounds. Hang on. Is that a new one? Okay. Well, that's external, isn't it? Music. Where's loudness? Oh, limit that one. That is off. No, that's off. Yes, A220 seems like a mini 787. Yeah, I agree. Good. Before takeoff, let's have a look. APU bleed is off. FMS, I'll take the performance page here, is set trim. Oh yeah, trim, I forgot the trim. So we go to fuel. Oh no, trim is here, 4.3. So I'm going to trim down. 4.3 is set. Went from 0. Flaps 2 set. Anti-ice off. Auto brake will take RTO. Is set. ICAS info. So again, bugged. We'll ignore that. Thrust. How do you... Well, check thrust. I mean, we checked that the aircraft is accelerating, right? I've not even... The thing is, so Turk in the US, I've not really put the map display on yet. We'll have a look at that in a minute. So thrust, runway 22 will be confirmed, cabin is ready, and that's the before takeoff checklist completed. Next is the after takeoff. Check thrust the thrust reference value. Alright, so TL1, 87.5%. Cool. I'm going to set VNAV. Where's my flight directors? There we go. Flight directors on. Flight director on. Auto flight field. VNAV. VNAV. Rabonius, thank you. Thanks for the 15 months. Much appreciated.
Time to sub again.
Thank you very much. Okay, so what did I do wrong now with the autoflight fault there? We'll drop the environmental sounds. It's not. This is not. That's like wind. Okay, that's because it's complaining because of the autothrust. Yeah, but still gives me autoflight fault. Hey Johnny. Info. Hang on, how do I check the info there? Check the info. Synoptic page. Messages. Oh! No VNAV path. Why is that? Change. Yeah, but they are on now, and that's not the reason. Yeah, it's complaining about VNAV path. It doesn't matter. We're just going to go, I don't know, we're going to pitch up some flight director angle and then...
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome
We'll
aboard
check
the
that.
Captain Blackbox Infotainment Experience. New subscribers should now pick up their pass to first class. Thank you.
Oh, it's here. You mean that? Okay. Flight directors are on. VNAV is not selected. VNAV is not selected. I have no idea. No, I've not pressed toga. Oh, hang on. Do I need to press toga once? Hold on. Ah. Hey. Things can be so simple, of course. So we had to press toga button once. Ah. Thank you much. Adam, thanks so much for the 10 months. Much appreciated, Adam. Hope you're doing well. And now we can go VNAV and NAV on. Thank you. Pros here. Fantastic. Right. Performance page. And then let's go. Let's take this thing finally. Strobe lights on. We go line lights on. And then we go TCAS as well. So CNS, transponder, traffic, auto. That is on, isn't it? And then all I have to do is go traffic. No, TCAS, hang on, TCAS. Why is TCAS not on? TCAS. Ah, disregard. Yeah, traffic, terrain. All good. Let's go flying. Leave in auto? Oh, come on. Okay, so normally you leave it in auto. Okay. That's right. Right, we check approach sector is clear. Runway is clear.
Could new subscribers please make your way to the first class?
Fly with Paul, hello, thanks for the 39. Wie geht's gut, wie geht's dir?
Flight entertainment will be served. Thank you.
So TCAS, okay, then I'll tell you what, then we'll go with the proper procedure. Okay, so we leave that in auto. Done. There we go. Good. Everything's set. Let's go. Finally. Thank you for your patience, everyone. Now we just push the throttles forward. Now thrust engages. It's got a bit like a bump, so it waits until you have a certain airspeed, and then it slowly adds the thrust, so that you have your takeoff thrust setting by 80 knots latest. Sponex, thanks so much for subscribing, Sponex. Thank you so much. Hold. There's 80 knots. Here's 100 knots checked.
V1.
Pause rate. Now we're going to pull until we get the pitch in here. Now we just follow the flight path marker. And here we have a blue caret. That is the trim speed. So when I use my trim up and down button, this changes. Now, what I like, yeah, is noted, is the fact that if you change the trim, so that's the in-trim speed, if you let go of the stick, it will try to pitch the aircraft to maintain the trimmed speed, even though the autopilot is not on. So we have FMS, flight level change. So if I trim nose down, let go, the aircraft pitches down. And once it gets closer to the trimmed speed, it'll pitch up again and maintain that trimmed speed. Like the 787 and 777, Ulas, yeah, exactly. So it's what's called speed stability. And there we go. So now it just maintains nicely that speed. And what I like here is it does the adaptation to the new trimmed speed very quickly. Pitch target, well, I mean, initially to get the angle of attack for liftoff and to get the lift, I wouldn't say it's unusual for the high pitch. It is very... That's true, Jacob, yeah. The real 787 and the real 777 don't show you that trimmed speed marker. Exactly, you have to feel it. So apparently now, usually I've been taught not to fly with a trim, meaning you should first pitch the aircraft to decide pitch, then the aircraft accelerates, then you will start to have a feeling that you have to push actively on the stick here, standard, and then you trim forward, nose down, so that you can reduce the pitch input on the stick. But I've been told real A220 pilots actually leave the stick in neutral and just trim nose down, and that way the aircraft lowers the nose, accelerates, etc. Right? So going to put the flaps up so that we have a commanded speed 200 knots. So that now increases slowly to the limit, which is 200 knots currently on the departure route. Now I have to trim down, obviously. Here comes the trim marker. See how the aircraft lowers the nose? So if I put that now to 200, or actually 250 knots, it shouldn't go in descent. That's the important thing. It should go level flight. I'm not sure how accurate that is. Yes, now it's recovering again. I think maybe you have to be careful in the real aircraft as well. I don't know. But yeah, again, if I now have to go higher as well here. So now I've trimmed for 250 knots. Now if I just let go of the stick, the aircraft will pitch accordingly. So I don't have to really do much. Alright, so the fly-by-wire system maintains that trimmed speed. And that's doing it very nicely. I did notice on departure the FPS drops. Now let me quickly have a look here as well regarding FPS. Yeah, 55, 50, 55. So I'm going to put the map mode here off. Overlay terrain off. No, that has not really done much. Well, 57, 58. Now, let me switch off the external server for the map completely. No, honestly, so that I can confirm the map server doesn't have an impact for me on FPS. But I'm not reaching the 60, which is a shame. So I do hope they... Yeah, and you can see again, you know, main thread is struggling. It is struggling. So unfortunately, you know, that's something they need to improve on. Good. Let's do this here. Let's go get the after takeoff checks done. So after takeoff, ICAS is checked. And that's the after takeoff checklist complete. High altitude climb check? No. I'm climbing rough 350. I'm not doing that today. Good. Seatbelts, auto, PD, auto. Rest of the panels. Caleb, hello. They said the performance update will come out on Tuesday next. Okay, hopefully. Yeah, like I said, it's something many add-ons struggle with initially. Not all, but some. And then you just have to be patient. and hope that they keep their promise regarding performance improvements. Mitch says you love the plane, but performance on console is abysmal. Okay. Yeah. You said show you fly, auto thrust and autopilot off, but not a big deal in the real aircraft. Yeah. I'll do that as well. Betsy flew on a 2100 once, and it was like a rocket ship. Okay. But I mean, I guess it also has to do with the climb performance. So climb 2 is selected at the moment, right? Now let me have a look. Can I change this here? Thrust here, thrust. You can go and put this, let's say, to climb. Now it will revert to climb thrust. Which improves the climb performance. Aircraft sounds a bit high still. Okay, let me just dial that down a bit. There we go. You can remind me later to increase the volume again if you like. Cool. Right. Good. I hope I'm not deviating too far from normal procedures. So we can skip that. Next will be descent and approach. Okay, fix page. Let me go to root. Fix. Currently, I am testing a lot of add-ons regarding their holding capabilities. Meaning, I've witnessed some add-ons in the past. I don't remember exactly which add-ons didn't fly the holding patterns, the programmed holding patterns correctly. So I checked, up to now, I checked FENIX, FSLabs, PMG 737, the Mad Dog, here the A220, I've checked A350, Inibuilds A340, Airsoft Tolis A340. I think that's about it. And interestingly enough, all of them, they fly teardrop, parallel, direct entries correctly. They sometimes have a bit different entry philosophies, how far they fly into the pattern and then turn around, but they all stay in the correct holding area. They do keep the nav mode active and fly the holding. But I think maybe it was the Fokker, or that there are some add-ons that have a terrible holding functionality in these add-ons. But I'm surprised. I actually thought that a lot of those would fail, especially with the parallel entry. Is it a Fokker? I thought so, yeah. Because I remember that we flew on VATSIM on one of the first flights after release, and we got a holding, and it was horrible. Yeah. Is it so, Andy? You think? I tried today. Yeah, all the 3 entries. Embraer, hey Voyager, could be. But I tell you what, let's do the following. Let's go and let's have a look here. There's a holding pattern at Salzburg, but that's going to be a direct entry. That's not really challenging, is it? I tell you what we're going to do. I'm going to alter the holding direction. We're not on VATSIM today, so nothing happens. We're going to pretend ATC gives us a amended holding pattern. So that we're going to do a what do you think? Which pattern is bad? Because I can't confirm that. I did 3 entry tests today and all were good. So which one shall we try? Do you remember what entry he was doing? because I would like to try. I mean, it is important. You need to have the holding speed. If you fly it too fast, it can potentially just overturn and maybe yeah, please do, because again it will be interesting to find out what entry he tried. Oh, so of course right, okay, now do I care that all of these bins open and close? No. I don't care about that at all. Interesting. Now, someone was saying there's a reason why the numbers here start at 28. And it goes like, 30 something. Why is that? Anyone know? Does the toilet work? We'll try. We'll have a look. Flight attendants. It is. So does the toilet flush? We're gonna have a look and check it. Yeah, I've seen that as well somewhere. Okay, so that panel doesn't have a function, at least not yet. That doesn't. Getting a bit of lags here. Stop, open door slowly. That's always a good reminder. Right, okay. Right, insta-buy, right? Right, yeah, oh, it's no mirror? Okay, no buy then. Oh, you're right, there's no mirror. No buy. Okay, so we're back on square one. Right. Coffee machine. No. Oh dear. Oh no. That's a disappointment. Coffee machine doesn't work. No. Right. Fish coffee kids too. Excuse me. Coming through. Yeah, it's a bit laggy. Okay. Right. No, it's a joke. A220 driver. I'm just joking. Again, I couldn't care less about cabin stuff being simulated. And maybe one thing I do find interesting or nice is if the cabin attendant panel works and you can dim the lights there and change. That's okay. I can live with that. But I don't need toilets. I don't need the bins to open, close, that sort of stuff, right? Doesn't the 2x3 setup of the seats interfere with balance? No. So really the only balance issues... Loud, isn't it? Sorry for that. Let me just dial the sounds down. So if you look at the way the center of gravity is related to the center of lift, all right? So let's say you have your center of lift here and the center of gravity just slightly ahead of that. Then someone walking from the front to the rear has a huge arm, right? That has a huge change of the center of gravity. If you look at the top down, look at the lateral stability there. Look at the wings, right? And look how the lift is distributed here along that huge wingspan. So any weight offset, here in the middle has extremely little influence on the arm that way. Yeah, no, honest. Absolutely, no worries. That's the important thing. Well, the thing is, Aero, you're a flight attendant. GG's. The thing is, I remember very well, especially on the 737, we had still proper, filter coffee machines. So you had to have a proper coffee filter bag, place that correctly, put a little bit of water on top, wet it down a bit, make a little kind of imprint, so that when the whole thing gets put in and locked, that it has good contact with the water injector, right? Because otherwise, if you do it wrong, you could have that bag rip open, and then you have all the the coffee in the can. Yeah. Oh, I love coffee. I think every pilot loves coffee. Right, so I need to try out one more thing. So, how do I get this over this side? How do I do that? Because he's got a big. I want the big screen. I want the full screen here. Bottom pedestal. Does it? Oh, okay. Hang on. Let's see. Ah. No, hang on. That wasn't right. Hang on. Which one do I have to press? Swap. Okay, so then I have to press map and get rid of that. Ah, thank you. Yeah, that is so similar, not gonna lie, that is so similar to the 787 regarding left to right, half. But there was a simple transfer switch to easily transfer that here up front. Yeah, it's an icing bug. Yeah. I did the icing test. Nobody warned me, so that's why. I want the FMS down here. Right, FMS message. Right, disregard. So let me get the checklist back here. So let's go checklist. Let's get the normal checklists. Send and approach. Fantastic. Yeah, I'm still hoping for the first of all for the Horizon mod to come out soon. If I do this, is there any chance we get rid of the? Well, that's ice detection. That hasn't to do anything with the anti-ice itself. It's the detector. CB reset. Before we start our descent, I've got to hurry up. CB reset status system, or let's do anti-ice ice detector out. Wait a couple of seconds. Rice right out as well. Out. In. I'll be surprised if that works, but you never know. Yeah, Mitch, we're trying. It's worth a try. Worth a try, 100%. Also interesting, even though you have the full map mode now over both halves, it only gives you the VSD on the left half there, not the full. The pre-flight checklist is not read and do. It is read as read. But you do a flow of all panels and do all the tests before doing checklist. Okay, roger that. I'll try to remember that next time. Now, descent. So, there's no bigger restrictions. So we just have barred at 4,000 above. What I'm going to do though, I'm going to put Salzburg at 4,000. That's the only change that I'm going to do. Oh yeah, and then did we find out what entry Kenko was flying where the aircraft struggled? A direct? I'll be so surprised. Andy, yeah, thanks for checking. I'd be so surprised if that is just... Okay, let's go down a little. 140. So we have 140 alt. VNAV path is armed, so it should descend automatically if it's like a Boeing aircraft. So here we go. So we're going to change that to 220 knots. Actually, let's put 210 and then exactly 4,000. Huh? What happened now? Was that because there's friction 5,000 of later? Really? Oh yeah, it is. It is. Yeah, that's correct. Clever system. Because it's 5,000 here. Clever. I'm impressed. I am impressed. So I'm going to put this again. And now it's not complaining anymore. But 210 knots, so it should correctly do that. Alright, okay, so we have to do flight load change, obviously. Okay, so disregard. So thrust is idle, and hopefully we're able to catch the path. Although I can help that with manual speed. Let's dial the speed up to about 300, and then we should be able to catch the path again. But the direct entry is such a simple entry for an FMS to do. So you literally just come in and just fly the holding. Let me try a parallel entry, shall we? So let me turn that around. Let's do like 005 on the holding. So here I'm going to click on this spot here. Took me a while to find out. So if you click on the overfly symbol there, or the navigation symbol there, then you can enter the holding. So if I put that opposite, now we should be arriving, let me just check that, we're arriving here. So if I turn that around, then although it's going to take a teardrop, isn't it? So I'm going to have to put that a little bit... let me do 330. Let's see how that works. So 330. 330, and then it'll be left turns, right? Let's try left turns. Probably going to get it all wrong now, but let's check that. Oh no, that's going to be a teardrop from this side, isn't it? Okay, let's do plan. Let's zoom in. And let's have a look here. Yeah, that's a teardrop. So I was right. So we've got to be like 005. So we'll take 005 with the left turns. Yeah. So if I got my bearings correct, coming from this sector and having to fly the holding like this, it means the aircraft should overfly the fix, go parallel to the inbound, then turn right, and within the holding turn back to Salzburg, and then do the holding this way. I think that's the most challenging entry for an FMS, I think. But it could be wrong. Right, anyways, so descend. Right, I'm not getting any. I'm still high in the profile, it says. So let's go take some speed breaks, shall we? So I'm going to go to arrival. Let me fetch the weather on my flight. So we have META 27 degrees 070 at 4. So 33 should work okay for that. 1019. So we have 1019. Temperature 27. And the wind is 070 at 4. So 070 at 4. And put that in there. VREF plus 5. And we'll do a flap 5 landing. Yeah. Flap 5 landing. Set these bits completely. Hey Ted, how are you doing? Right, let's dial down 5,000 because we have to descend further. A little change. So we're slowly getting into the path. But that was pilot error regarding the start of the descent. Good. So we'll take back that to map. Now, we have landing performance. Seek. Oh, hang on. Airport. Salzburg. We'll have manual landing, medium, reverse, yes. So let's put reverse now. Compute. Error missing input data. Oh, landing weight. Landing weight is where's my landing weight? Help. I need to put something in here, don't I? Let me put 53 or something. Just get compute. Okay, interesting. I'm missing flight plan. Where do I see the weights? Are we on VNAV now? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just get that back to FMS speed. Leave the speed brakes out until we get to the speed. I'm a bit confused. Why? Usually I would have thought we'd get the weight here somewhere. Bottom left, arrival performance. Performance, arrival. Oh, here. Oh, it's just too small for me to read. 53, right? So 53. Hang on, it's not far off then. Flaps 5. Landing distance above runway length. What? That's wrong. Factored. Oh, do I have to like 53 point something? Here you have to like 53.0, is that it? Oh, it's bugged. Change to feet. Anyways. Trust me, it's long enough. Famous last words, but it is, okay? So, star, and then we have this one, this one. Good. Oh, we're coming up to Salzburg. We need to slow down. Speed manual, slow down. Full brakes on. And yeah, let's have a look how the aircraft flies the thrust limit. That's fine. Let's slow down. And let's see how we fly the holding. Yeah, the numbers were so small, honestly, I didn't see that. Even though my screen is like 60, 70 inch out there. Rightio. So we're going to put some lights on. Seat belts on. Going to be on. And let's have a look. Beautiful, beautiful surrounding here. Look at that. Oh, the moon as well. Full moon. Okay. The reason why, and it should be permanent on the ICAS. Okay, interesting. I'm a bit worried why it's like 30 degrees. Is it trying to do a teardrop? No, it's not. No, disregard. It's trying to get out now, isn't it? We'll see. We'll see what it ends up with. Good. Regarding the approach. So, 3D approach operation. Okay, so this is what I'm going to take as a helper. So, before approach, I'm not sure what it's doing here with the holding entry. Did I promise too much? Hey, Rogue Pixel. Yeah, we can try. I am honestly not 100% sure what it's doing. I'm a bit confused. We'll see. We'll see what happens. It's still in nav mode, so we shall see. Yeah, it's weird because I tested this afternoon and it was okay. So we have to pilot flying on the approach. Is it flight plan? Routing? Guys, where do I have to set the two RMP LPV? Where do I do that? Student pilot, yeah. RMP approach. LTV arm. Okay. I'm not sure what it's doing here. No, Nate, it should have been, look, from this direction, it should have been a clear parallel entry. No doubt. Performance arrival on arrival. Performance arrival. Arrival data. Arrivals. Okay, done. Hold on. Arrivals. Arrivals data. AR. It's already set. Okay, so I don't have to do anything with that. Okay, good. It says approach arm. So that is... Okay, there's no selection. Well, I mean, this one, again, It seems to be more like maybe hit and miss, because this afternoon when I tested with 3 different entries, it was okay. It didn't... I mean, I guess the controller potentially would say that was a teardrop entry. But I mean, the important thing is that it stays in the holding area and then just follows the holding pattern as it's published here. So it's not getting out of nav mode. No, that's true. I did right holdings today, Fabian. Yeah, that's true. Okay, so sorry for the RMP Auto. So there's nothing I have to do here. Right, let's have a look. So we have then RMP AR. So it should be ARM in here somewhere. That's what I'm worried about right now. Okay. On the HSI. Here somewhere then. Yeah, you get 4 miles buffer. Yeah, that's true. Okay. So let me go direct. Let me go direct now at 831 here. Execute. And then, yeah. So we're going to start the approach with 5,000 feet. Although we haven't set the altimeter yet correctly. Because we were busy doing other things. So 1019. So no VNAV path again. Huh? 5,000. So we have the 3 degrees. That's all good. Hey, 3x Kilo, thank you for the raid. Welcome everyone. So this is where my limitations come in as not being a real world pilot. So arrival. Thank you much, Mark, for the shout out. So how do I... Yeah, just on the checklist it says approach arm. Well, let's assume it is on. So we have VNAV on and nav. Okay, so nav is on. VNAV. Hey, MAN. No, that's fine. It's maintaining 5,000. That's all good. Here comes flaps 1. Check RMPAR approach at the first approach waypoint. So this could be Whiskey Sierra 833, so maybe after that one, officially.
A gift from me to you.
MAN.
Enjoy the
Oh my god.
sub.
MAN, thank you so much for the 5 gifted. Much appreciated. Right, we're still struggling. I need to get the VNAV path. Like I said, I don't know how to activate the approach here. Anyone know? Performance. Arrival data. Running out of fuel. Now we still have good fuel there. Oh, right. Yeah, so we're missing the RMP AR message somewhere, wherever that should be. And again, I don't know. Oh, it's not. Is it? Yeah, it is an AR. So why doesn't it say anymore? Okay, just select MDA. Okay, so let's set. Let's set that enough path. So you don't have to press approach. Press approach again. Okay. Ah. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so now we're on business. Thank you. Now it says approach at least. Cool. Thank you much for that. We'll slow down further. And so yeah, Whiskey 8 Sierra 834 is the final approach, which is here, so that path should be coming in. Hey Toto, how you doing? Gear's coming down. Path is coming in, and gonna set the flaps to 3. And we're gonna have also a quick look here at the beautiful surroundings. I don't know, you tell me. Here comes flaps 4. Flaps 4. Yeah, it's descending. It's descending, it's fine. The runway is at pretty much 2,500. So I can put this to like 2,015. Right, so let's have a look at flaps 4. And so minima. Where do I set the minima? Minima. Set auto brake. We'll set medium. ICAS. Let's check arrival completed. Then we do the before landing altimeter 1019 cross checked. Flaps 5 indicating 5 cabin is ready. Completed.
2,500.
Cool. Okay, thank you. So it's already now. Okay, now it's inverted guidance. Okay, so we could set the missed approach 5,000 again. Excellent. Right. So the idea is that it is flying laterally and vertically that turn, and hopefully we'll see 2 red. Hey Conti, we'll see 2 white, 2 red once we've completed the turn. There's the runway. Oh yeah, you're right. Toto knows a lot about the A220 already as well, probably. Yeah, big shout out to Fly Conti. If you don't know him, check out his channel, please. Awesome streamer too. Lovely gentleman. Right, speed control, come on. Let's turn. And like I said, not touching the controls at all. Just waiting for the final turn. And let's have a look how we are. As we come around the corner. So of course we're still high at the moment, we're still in the base turn. Star might have not tried, look at that. So now we're coming in 1 red, 3 white, looks promising. I am already gonna take the manual thrust. Yes, thank you. the speed. Ooh, it's diving down a bit now. We're on path, that's fine. That is good. So many flight.
500.
So just a bit fast.
Stabilizer motion.
That was all that's
400.
that's a bit off.
300.
Oh, I need to trim. Okay. So that's, I can see the trimmer was above the speed, which is my bad. That's pilot error. Just trying to salvage this. I know a bit lower, but
100.
slowly filling it. Well, that should then get us a nice.
50. 30. 20. 10.
Alright, so we have reverser, green, spoilers as well. So we've arrived, yes. So, yeah, the speed wasn't trimmed correctly. That was my bad. That's why I kept fighting the nose down moment. But that wasn't that bad, man. Sometimes you guys are so sensitive. Blimey, it wasn't that hard. Come on. 3-wire. Now, normally, yeah, I think it would have been a good idea to do go around. Yeah. Well, the thing is, Nate, it doesn't have a glide slope, right? Oh, come on, forward. Wasn't that bad? It's following its calculated path, so it's not relying on external cues like the external glide slope. Good performance. Okay, that's one of my biggest critiques as well. I agree, performance has to be improved. That's definitely at a level where it is starting to be immersion breaking. Oh, the thing is, so the path itself, vertical lateral, was followed quite nicely. In the end, was it 3 red, 1 white before it took over manually? But the rest was pilot skill issue more than the aircraft flying it long. Yeah, normally when you have a tower, you would confirm the latest QNH setting to make sure you have the right setting there, and then it should be fairly good on the vertical path as well. Yeah. So let's quickly have a look at the after landings. I'm gonna go. That's automatic, isn't it? No need to do that. Then we have data, airport. You blamed the poppies. So, just out of interest, because I didn't follow many live streams, pre-release streams, what was your impression on the performance there, on the pre-release streams? And did any of the content creators comment about FPS performance? Because I would definitely say it's on a level that's actually, like I said, it's disappointing in my eyes. That is not ideal. All said bad performance, and they struggle as well. Okay, good. Yeah, and again, that proves the point. I mean, if you don't mind So if you are aware of that performance issue, people weren't expecting it's going to be that bad. Honestly, the only advice I can give you is don't FOMO in on release day. Just give it, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks until they keep word and improve on the performance. I mean, I've heard someone say early on that they did announce next Tuesday or something. They would bring out a fix, a patch to improve performance. So really, why not hold off with the purchase until then? Alright, I mean, flaps are 0 after FENIX complete. Shutting down the engines. Oh! Didn't I set the fire brake? It released again. So, let's have a look. Beacon off.
Now that's how pros
I knew.
do it.
Who was it? Wissa. I knew you were going to say that. I keep forgetting. I turned that on, but it turned off again because I have a hardware parking brake. Test. Right. So after landing is completed, shut down. Oh, nose gear off. Okay, APU is on. Slides. Let's check sync. Doors. Beacon is off. Seatbelt. Oh, seatbelts. That's right. Seatbelts. And now that should go. Excuses. Yeah, I think obviously the hype was there because there wasn't a good A220, not as detailed as we have here on the market back then. And what am I doing wrong? Is it still missing something? Engines are off. Yeah, engines are off. Seatbelts off. We have the beacon off. Ground equipment. Attached chocks. Nate, no, I'm gonna try to get a stream in maybe tomorrow. But the thing is, here's my honest opinion. I'm talking about my honest opinion about the add-on in a second, and why I'm not going to do a second flight. So slides, I can't disarm the slides from here. Let's get through this. Let's try it this way. Hey Storm. Thank you much, Storm. I'm glad you enjoy that. And Rip Van Winkle, hello. Right, so I'm going to dial down the sounds a bit from the external sounds. Alright, and then let's have a quick look here. So it's not that bad, is it? Right. So my honest, unbiased opinion about this add-on. I think it has potential, absolutely. And I think the developers and anyone involved in the development, GG stairs, 3 of them, yeah. I think they all want this to be a fantastic add-on, and system-wise, it has a lot of potential, no doubt. Sounds can be improved maybe a bit more to please more of the general public. There's people that are happy with the sounds, and there's people that are not happy with the sounds. I don't know. I guess you can never get everybody happy with that. But one of the big things for me is FPS performance, and I just hate to say it, but that kind of FPS performance, especially on Final Approach, if I have to dial down my settings you know, to really low level of detail settings, etc., and terrain and general texture settings, then I don't know. You know, I don't see why, because we have other add-ons like the FENIX, and you know, the PNGs, the iFly, the Fokker, whatever. Right? I know they have different displays. I know that they're not that detailed on the displays, but still, I mean, that's a problem they have to deal with. But for me, the immersion does get broken quite badly. But again, it's just me. Okay, if you don't mind, if you are used to, you know, the odd stutter on final and so on, then, you know, it doesn't upset you, all good. Then, you know, don't take my word for it. But for me at the moment, as much as I am fascinated about the overall system simulation, the depth, I'm personally missing. I know they're developing it. I'm missing the failure simulation behind that. But at the moment, again, I don't see a point in having it, because, you know, as long as the FPS performance is bad, I know that it just upsets me so much that I can't really truly enjoy it. So the nose drop, maybe if you anticipate that a bit more. I know, for example, the A321 Neos in real life, they have a terrible nose drop, which you have to be ready for and counteract. It could be the same here with the real A220. So the real pilots would be able to anticipate the nose drop and already with their muscle memory be able to have an input in to not have the nose gear slam. This could just be, you know, pilot or you know, streamer incompetence, right? To be ready for that nose drop. But that's not the issue for me. So the issue is not the systems. The issue is not sounds. I like the textures. No, the issue for me is FPS. That's the thing. Yeah, flight model, also good. I'm happy with the flight model. Again, all you have to be able to do is scan after you take the, you know, manual flight, is scan where you've set your speed trim. It has a marker there to help you identify where it's set to. Make sure you check that and set it to the desired speed, so that you're not fighting the pitch inputs from the fly-by-wire system. All right. Yeah, so Wild a World, then I'm happy for you. But I mean, I can show you my overall settings so that you guys know I'm not cheating or anything, right? So here you go. I'm locking on 30 FPS, right? DLS is 2x. Here are my settings. Medium, off-screen, right? I've got high settings on buildings, trees, plants, rocks low, grass low. Level of detail 100. Terrain 130, but I've just checked this afternoon with several add-ons because I was doing the holding checks, and that was perfectly fine. I'm pretty sure even if I've dialed down to 100, it doesn't have a big impact. The only thing I have on ultra is volumetric clouds, right? The rest is not on ultra or, you know, on very high at all, right? And like I said, all the other add-ons I'm using, they're perfectly fine with that. So the thing is, so Wild a World, again, I'm not saying you're not telling the truth or something, but I have a lot of people sometimes come in, you know, from the development teams and maybe some people, you know, beta testers, whatever, they're very affected or kind of very protectionist about their product, and then they will say, oh, their performance is fine, etc., etc. I can only say what I'm experiencing. You see my settings, and you've seen other streamers, you've seen other content creators. So yeah, that's just the way it is. I can only say what I have, and I'm sorry to say it here. This add-on right now, as it stands, does not have the same level as many of the other add-ons, right? So good. So Fornax, I'm happy to hear that. And honestly, if they fix the FPS thing, so if they get performance in the regions as we have with other add-ons, I will fly it again, and then of course I'll get more acquainted with the avionics part, to know how to operate it properly as a proper pilot. But then we'll try again, and
Ladies and gentlemen,
I'll be
welcome aboard
commenting
the
more
Captain
positive
Black Box
overall
Infotainment Experience.
regarding this add-on.
New
So,
subscribers should now pick up their pass to first class. Thank you.
oh, it's like A220 driver. That's really kind of you. No,
One of the
So-
many reasons I like your channel. Hard to find a streamer unbiased nowadays. Good to see you.
Thank you so much, Professor Sander. Thanks for the support and thanks for the kind words. I think, well, there's other streamers that are honest and as unbiased as they can be. I'm not the only one, but thanks for the kind words. I would say the same. So my advice would be keep this on your radar. Wait until they keep their promise regarding improving performance, and then when it does improve, then I'm seeing a bright future for this add-on. Then I think with implementation, then with CPU DLC and some failures maybe for those nerds like me who love to do a failure here and there. It'll be right up there with other good add-ons, no doubt. But at the moment, early release, as with many add-ons we've seen in the past, I mean, correctly, I think it was Edward that pointed out correctly, even the FENIX at the beginning had some bigger issues in many areas. So again, you have to give them credit for trying their best to improve the performance. So A220 driver, I really appreciate your help and anyone else that has joined in with helping me to get my way around the systems here. Because I mean, this is the thing, right? If it's really simulated like the real aircraft with a great system depth, a lot of people like myself who are not acquainted so well with the A220 will struggle a bit, and that's why I think it's fantastic that we have lots of very engaged and very motivated people in the communities, real world pilots, but also very, very dedicated flight sim configurators that try to learn the proper procedures and so on, and then they do the tutorials, and that helps all of us, which is great. So big shout out to them. I'm happy to leave that as a last word, Star Miner. Let it grow, give it some room. Thank you. At least that's good to hear, A220 driver. I did prepare a little bit yesterday after, but good, and this morning as well. Fantastic. So once again, MAN, FENIX, once again, thank you so much for your gifted subs. Also a big shout out again to Anonymous gifting a sub. And I hope I'm not missing anyone of the gifted subs. And also thanks to all that have resubbed and are supporting the channel that way. Oh, is that yours? So A220 driver, was that your document? Because if it is, then I have to say, I mean, note now I'm not showing the whole thing. Okay, so A220 driver. I assume you did that for your real world flying. You did that. Flaps full, my pleasure. It must be for real world flying. I mean, I've seen, and I've made my own personal, documents, especially for the 787 the last time, and these aircraft are tremendously complex. The system architecture, especially as you also point out, with all the different approach capabilities, not just the standard ILS, localizer, glide slope approach, right? Also the 3D non-precision approaches, be it on RMP approaches, RNAV, LNAV, VNAV, or LPV, be it 2D approaches. There's so many combinations to get it into, at least it's my way to approach this. To get this somehow into my head, I need to make exactly these kind of summaries. It started as notes and then got out of hand. Man, I have to say, you've done it so cleanly and so fantastically that I am envious in what you achieved here. I really am. So hats off. And yes, of course, you know, for someone as just as a flight sim enthusiast, it can be intimidating, right? But if you just stick with it and, you know, use it bit by bit, don't try to learn everything at once. Just go bit by bit and then let your memory start to organize everything over time. And trust me, at some point, you feel like you can do so many things, you know, at the same time and prepare the approach. And your workload management will just improve so greatly that it's just a joy. Because that's at the end. I mean, we're flying this in single pilot concept here, right? Remember that. Usually you have two pilots that manage everything. Here you are on your own, right? Rabonis, once again, thank you so much for your reset. And Pod, also to you, thank you so much for gifting us up to Conti. Pod, thank you so much. Pod, thank you so much. How are you doing? Well? Yeah, good. So, summary. It has great potential. I love the architecture. I'm fascinated about the systems of this aircraft. The detail it already offers. I'm fascinated with that. Visually, it's a joy. What it has to offer. Systems is great. And yeah, please. All I'm really hoping for are two things: FPS improvements, and at some point, somewhere, let's say 3 months, 6 months, I don't care. It doesn't have to be, you know, that soon, but some failure simulation. Then I am truly, truly happy. Cool. Thank you very much. Is anyone else streaming the A220 right now? German ATC is currently. I mean, he's a German live streamer, but I don't think that's really. Oh, I missed us up. Sorry. Oh, Professor San. Professor San, thank you so much for gifting us up to the A220 drive. Really kind of you. Professor San, thank you so much for that. Yeah, Agromeister, I have you know, trust and believe in that as well, that the failure simulation will come. Yeah, I think the ground architecture is there, so sure, why not? I'll definitely believe that. Hey, maybe well. Yeah, maybe well. It's not that long of a stream, so enjoy the video on demand. Thank you so much, everyone, for the support, guys. I will send you over to German ATC. Unless Nate, are you streaming? Then I would send some people over. Ah, that's the wrong command. Hang on. Right. German ATC. That's it. Right. Nate, right. Nope. Come on, Nate. You need that. You know what, Nate? You need that initial shock of like having 200 viewers, and then nothing can shock you anymore. Trust me. Good, excellent. Maybe we're happy for you. Glad enjoying the add-on. Okay, guys, I'm gonna send you over. Once again, thank you so much for the awesome support. Thanks for watching, and stay well and stay positive. See you soon.